Yes, hey, I want to talk about the topic on the screen here. Yeah. If anybody wants to come up, I decided to make this uh topic be about black men lacking empathy because of the tweet there at the bottom from Lil Duval that said that this new reality is going to hit black women more than anybody because black men been knew this, that it's not fair out here, and now black women are about to face it. Like, that's an absolutely insane thing to say. In my opinion, it's absolutely insane to say when black women live in the exact same world as black men, experience the exact type of same racism, the same things that go on to happen to black men, happen to black women, except there's an added component of sexism, of sexism to black women as well. So, wanted to talk about that. And, I would really like to know why black men feel as if they are the ones that experience the most racism when it doesn't make any sense to me, seeing as though black women are the most great and taking advantage of group when it comes to the police, like as far as like raping and SA by officers. But no one ever talks about that. No one just talks about black men being assaulted by cops and things like that. But nobody talks about it from the black female lens. Nobody protects black women. Democrats don't protect black women either. Please point to some type of policy or law that is put in place to protect black women. Please stop that. Stop it right now. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about these topics. Number one, why do black men think that they are the only ones that experience racism? Number two, why do black men say that they are the most desirable man? Black men will say they're the most desired, that all women want them, that nobody wants black women. But then they will say that they are experiencing all this racism and hatred. If you are experiencing all of this racism and hatred and it's so bad for you, how in the world does everybody want you then? How are you the most desired man then? If you're being so abused, I would like to know. Number three, why do black men lack empathy towards black women? I can't tell you how many times I see black women hurt, unalived, great, anything, and you very rarely see black men being empathetic, showing sympathy. They find some way to bash or talk about the person, even if it's a young girl. I saw the whole Naziah case, black men making excuses. Number four, I want to talk about why the fact is that I do think that this empathy that black men lack for black women, they reserve it for their oppressors. And why is that also? Those are the four questions. I would love for any black men to get in the box and tell me what you think. Give me your perspective. You can speak for 2 minutes uninterrupted. I will let you speak. I will not interrupt you. You can speak for 2 minutes uninterrupted. Chosen King Kernan, you look like you have something to say there in the comments. You can definitely join up, request up, and I will let you speak for 2 minutes uninterrupted because I would love to hear what you have to say because the things that you said were not accurate. They were not accurate. So anyway, yes, let's talk about today why black men lack empathy. Why do black men lack empathy? So you see the four questions. I'll go over them one more time. Number one, why do black men think that they're the only ones that experience racism? You're a black man, but there are black women running out here, and you don't think that black women experience racism. You don't think that black women experience profiling and disrespect on the job, in the workplace, and all of these things, even though society and stats prove that black women experience just as much racism and discrimination. As I said earlier, with the also added, context of sexism as well. Number two, this is something that I really want to know. Black men will be quick to tell black women that, black woman, you are the least desirable. Nobody wants you. Nobody likes you. They don't like your face. They don't like your hair. They don't like this, that, and the third. But then they will turn around and tell you that they as black men have it so hard. Oh, I'm the black man. I have the hardest out of everybody. I feel all of this racism, all of this oppression, but yet you will say that you are the most desired. How can you be desired, the most desired, Every woman sees you, they want you. Their families want to invite you into their family because everybody wants the black man's DNA, but you're the most oppressed and discriminated against? That doesn't make any sense. I really would like some men to come up here and talk to me about this. Black women, you can also request up if you would like, and I will allow everybody to speak 2 minutes uninterrupted. You know, you don't have to agree with me. It would probably be better if you disagree, because I would love to, but you can't agree if you would like. But I would love to hear from black men to talk about this. Number 3, why, like I said, why do black men lack empathy towards black women? I remember the Carlisha Hood situation. If y'all remember when that black man was yelling and screaming at that black lady inside the chicken spot and her son sent him downstairs, I remember thinking when I saw the video clip that everybody was going to be on the side of Carlisha Hood. Because I was like, wow, they got it on camera. This black man is yelling at this black woman. He's in her face, yelling and screaming. She's done nothing to him. She hasn't put her hands on him. She hasn't done anything. But yet, this man decided to put his hands on her. I remember when I saw that video, all I saw was black men defending that black man for putting his hands. Oh, well, she should have just left. Oh, she shouldn't even raise her voice to him. Like, excuse me, who are you, Negro? I got to lower my voice for you so that you don't punch a stranger in the face? And then when he was exposed for being a domestic abuser that had set his other woman's house on fire, I still didn't hear anything. I didn't hear any empathy from black men. So I would really like to know, why is it that when a black man gets unalived by the cops and something happens, all this empathy is expected to be poured out onto him? But if something happens to a black woman like Sandra Bland or something like that, then it's her fault. Shut up, da 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 da. So let's talk about that. Why do they lack empathy? Number 4, I would like to know how you can be the most oppressed man in America. You could be having all of these bad things. You're so oppressed. You're the black man. You have it so hard, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then you will say that you prefer the oppressor's daughter. You prefer non-black women. You prefer white tea women. You prefer all of these women that grew up with the men that you say oppress you. That's self-hating and insane. Let's see here. Lord Muzan says that black women start trouble and are loud. I would love to hear you say that with your voice. Let me hear your voice, please. But I really feel like you're probably cowardly and you won't accept up, because a lot of y'all like to say things like that. You're causing trouble right now. Did I say anything wrong to you? No, but I can guarantee you won't get in here. And I think a lot of people that hate black women or lack empathy, they're actually cowardly, because anytime you ask them to explain what the problem is, they just resort to white racist stereotypes. You know what I'm saying? And I think that is because they have internalized racism and internalized self-hatred. But anyway, anybody wants to talk about this topic, please send me a request. Once again, the question of the day is, why do black men lack empathy? I would love to hear it. I actually think a lot of men in general, of all races, though, frankly, lack empathy. I think that men aren't generally empathetic unless it is to something that they feel like that hurts them directly, but they don't feel like empathy for things that happen to other people deeply. I don't think so. I think that's actually a male characteristic as a whole. But I do think that more specifically with black women, there is an extreme lack of empathy when it comes to anything that black women have experienced. Let's see here. Kitty Cat 79, you said Hispanic women are considered loud, but they simply get called spicy. Definitely, that is definitely the case. Definitely agree with that. I definitely think that people give them a lot of leeway, but that's because they would be considered, I guess, a quote unquote preference. Because I know I watched this video, right, of this Latina. She busted the window of her boyfriend and was telling him to get out the car. And all I saw was comments from men of all races, black men too, white men, Hispanic men, talking about how sexy she was, how spicy she was, how they liked a woman to act out like that. I have seen so many videos of black women, they might be yelling with their boyfriend outside, or they acting out, or they doing something. All I see in the comments is she's a ghetto B, she's no good. This is why we should unalive black women. Black women don't need, there are no complimentary things said about black women that act out. None at all. None at all. Let's see here. QP says, if all men lack empathy, women lack common sense. For real, for real. Explain that. How do women lack common sense? I would love to hear it. I know you were a hit dog hollering, but I would love to hear it. I sent you a request. Like, for real. Let's see here. Chosen King Kaman says, I'm a troll. You got to be a troll. I sent you several requests for you to come here and get in the box and tell me what you're thinking. What do you disagree about? And you refuse to get in the box. You refuse to get in the box and discuss what I'm talking about. So clearly, you got to be a troll. So go
I'm
ahead.
here.
I'll give you 2 minutes.
I'm here.
Go
So
ahead, sir.
what you want to talk about?
Whatever you want to talk about. You can talk about
All
the
right,
black
we could go back to what you were saying about black men. Black men has always been desired worldwide, and black women is jealous about that.
Okay. So
Facts.
let me ask you a question. If black men are the most desired all over the world, then how are black men oppressed? And how are black men going through
You
this?
know why black men are oppressed? Because black women oppress them by kissing the tropes of the white man, the white liberals.
Okay, what tropes are black women kissing of the liberals?
Easy. Look what when Biden was president, who got him there?
Okay, once again, sir.
And what did they
No,
get? No,
let's be
what did they get
factual,
out of it?
sir. Let's
What did
not
they
be
get out of it?
emotional. Are you listening
Nothing.
to me?
They didn't get
What?
nothing out of it.
Okay,
Look what he
sir,
did.
sir.
Hold on, hold on.
No, hold on, nothing. Address what I said. We're not going to have an argument. We're not going to have a go back and forth. What you're going to do is when you say something, we'll address it, and that way you can explain it. So let's start with this. You said that black women were kissing the tropes of the liberals. I ask you, what was that? You mentioned voting for Biden, but Biden wasn't president. The majority of people voted for Biden, which is why he won. So I'm asking you, what did black women do specifically to kiss the tropes, whatever that means, of liberals? What did they do that affected black men on a level that could be touching the world, like societally? What did black women do? Go ahead, sir. Let me know, because we're going to talk about things that we can actually prove. I sent you a request to turn your mic on, Chosen. Go ahead, sir. Chosen, you there? Yes, and I think T Scorpio in the comments made a great point as well. If you think that black women did that, what do you think white T women did? Do you think white T women assisted you? But I don't know. I'm waiting for him to unmute himself. I sent him a request to unmute himself. Like, and sometimes I feel like men, they're mad at black women and they want to take out like their frustration on me. Like I'm the girl that ignored them. I don't know you, sir. Go ahead, Chosen King. I sent you a request again to turn your mic on so that you can speak. I just wanted you to address the what you said, because we want to make sure that you can prove what you said. Oh, okay. He left. All right. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. He didn't have anything to say, but I don't know. That was like really strange. Like, what you know what I'm saying? And Lord Muzan, Vampire King, you have like literally, I sent you a request to get in the box. You have literally 30 seconds to get in the box. If you're not, you're getting blocked, because I feel like when people want to come in the chat and you want to be disrespectful, y'all be too scared to get in the box and say it. So y'all type, y'all type in the comments like bitter betties. And I don't respect a men that are so weak like that. So you can either get in the box, Vampire King. I'm not even gonna call you the first things because you're not.
He's trolling. If you look on his page, he got nothing but black men with white tea women. So
Okay, let me block.
he's here. Most likely he's here to try to push buttons. Yeah, just block him now. He's here to he's just here to be an idiot. I try to come up. Like, actually, I didn't try to come up until like the last minute, and then the guy left and everything. And I'm like, man, hold on. I can't be great for shit. Hold on.
Okay, no problem, no problem. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I was hoping he was gonna be able to say something. And this is my thing. Anytime I ever like have a discourse and I'm really ready for a black man to really just I said, say what you want to say. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure that you have a foundation and a reason beyond your emotions and your feelings that is why you can back it up. Cause he was talking about some doggone black women are kissing the tropes of liberals. That sounds like something that man heard on YouTube or something. Cause that didn't even make sense. So it's like, what are you talking about? Please let me hear how they did that. And he was about to start going down a whole nother road of emotion and talking about how he don't like black women because of their weaves and lashes. And it's just like, no, we're not going to do that, sir. We're actually going to talk about exactly what the prompt is about. You know what I'm
I'm back.
saying?
I'm back. Yeah, listen, I was just gonna come up and I was gonna say, okay, so if black women had supposedly kissed the Trump, kiss whatever trope that he was saying to be against black men, what the hell you think the white tea woman did? Because majority of white tea women, when they broke it down, who voted for them, voted for him majority. I'm sorry, I'm distracted from him from the baby, but it was white tea women that voted for him, even after he said that he's going to give cops full immunity. If it's one thing that black men love to mention is how they're oppressed by the so-called white tee man that's cops and everything. The white tee officers, how they unaliving us in the street. Black Lives Matter, got to get behind us, black women, and fight against this. But yet, white tee women voted for Trump in the office to give them immunity to pop your ass in the street. So my thing is, sir, if you are so desirable, why are you up here upset saying, well, y'all went against us? You're desirable. It don't matter if you lose the vote of us. You got like how many races in the world that will stand behind you? Okay, just like I thought, none of them will stand behind you. If you feel like we are desirable across the board, and that's why black women are jealous of us. If you are desirable across the board, it shouldn't be no such thing as Black Lives Matter. Then you should get those Philippine, you should get those Asian, you should get the Hispanic, you should get the Arab women, you should get all those other races of women to stand behind you when the next time your black ass get popped in the street by a white tea cop. If that's the case,
I
if that is the
definitely agree.
case.
I also think that those women that desire them all over the world, they should be able to talk to those women and tell them, hey, could you please tell your dads, your grandpappies, your uncles, your brothers to stop oppressing us and to stop doing things to us and to change society in order to make it more comfortable for the black man because we swear that it's very uncomfortable for us and we're being hunted and we're being disrespected. Why can't you use your potent masculinity and sexuality that you say that all of these women want from you? Why can't you use that as influence? Because I know that there's plenty of women that know how to get a man on her side and seduce him and all of that. When we're the ones that you say are ugly and nobody wants. So if everybody wants y'all, why y'all can't do that? It seems like it would be easier for y'all to do
Thing.
that.
That's my thing. And if that's the case, then why are y'all still in economic oppression? Because with all of that fantasization, I can't even talk right now. That y'all swear y'all have from other races, then you should be able to sway them to give y'all better positions. It shouldn't be no such thing as discrimination in the workforce. And matter of fact, if you really want to go there, the white team man still by the sense of the dollar make more money than a black man because of racism. Y'all still don't even have that on point. Y'all still don't even make more than a white team man that worked the same job as you, and he could be less qualified than you. He makes more money than you working the same job. If y'all are so seductive, then y'all should be able to make that to fix that. Or matter of fact, get reparations. It's so much things that if what y'all saying or we desirable amongst across the board, then y'all shouldn't have no problems. It shouldn't be no such thing as running on the internet demanding women, black women, to stand behind y'all when something happens to y'all. It doesn't make any sense. But like I said, he came up here just to spew some stuff. Like you said, like he's just mad because he probably got rejected in high school and he don't know how to handle it. And he swear up and down a white tea woman likes him. But in all reality, if the reason why she's messing with you is to get her white tea father upset, because nothing gets a white tea man more angry than seeing his wonderful white tea princess with a dirty black man in his eyes that he would view as dirty and beneath them, and basically like, you know, black men, like that's how these white tea racist men view black men. So if she's messing with you, just get her daddy upset. It has nothing to do with loving you or your race. Because, and it's funny how black men would get with a white tea woman and they'll have a biracial child and don't even consider that child to be black. They'll consider that child to be biracial. So you don't even want to be black anymore. Go ahead, Nisi.
All right. Thank you, T. Go ahead, Nisi. And it's good to
Hey,
see you.
sis.
Hey.
It's good to see you too. Yeah, I had to. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Think my phone. Okay, because my phone has been tripping since this app came back. But honestly, they lack empathy because they're self centered. That they only focus on self. They don't think about anybody but themselves. And it's so funny that he came up saying that they're the most desired. They are not the most desired. They always use that study, and that's that OK Cupid study, which the reason why they weren't at the bottom is because black women preferred them. No other race preferred them. All the other races preferred white men over them. But they use that study that is black women desiring them as all women desiring them, which is weird. But honestly, they're very focused on access to cat. They're not focused on access to resources. They're not focused on access to employment or economic growth or anything like that. The only thing they think about is cat. And it's so easy for them to beat down on black women because they can't punch up and beat up on white tea men. They're scared of other men. It's much easier to talk down on black women, shame black women, and punch down on black women because they're not going to do it to anybody else. We're a scapegoat for them. This is why when black women climb the economic ladder or when they start dating out of their race, they feel threatened.
All right. Okay, Nisi. All right, I got you. Definitely agree. I'm gonna go down here to Michaela and then special PM. Go ahead, Michaela.
Thank you. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Just to add to what Nisi said, to me, it's very sad that a lot of them lead with their sexuality instead of leading with things that they have actually built as a collective. They always go, well, I did this, my uncle, grandfather. That's individual. As a collective, they don't lead with that. And that's the problem. Another thing I would say is the ego and the competitiveness. In our community, I'm gonna be real, a lot of us are very competitive. It's like it's a negative part of our culture, but it really affects them the most, and I feel like the hardest. A lot of them are competitive with the wrong people. They should be competing against other men, not their own women, who for a while we've been trying to help them. It's only now that we're just like, yeah, no, you just go where you're celebrated. Just do what you gotta do at this point. Focus on yourself. But I just wanted to add what Nisi was saying. I agree.
Okay. All right, Michaela. All right. Thank you for that. Let me go over here to special PM.
Yeah, sorry first of all because I'm at work and I just love the topic, so I want to chime in real quick.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I agree and also disagree. I agree in the part that there's a lot of brothers out here that's really messing up by just using our sexuality as the thing, but also we have don't get it twisted. Black men are uh, our most desire low key. We have the way we come up, how like the way we present ourselves compared to every other race. I really don't think any race are matching us. Again, we're talking about reality now. The way we dress, the way we present ourselves. I'm just straight up. I think the same thing also with the black girls. I don't think any, like the way there's a charisma that we have. I don't think any other race has that. The way we dress, the way we turn everything to swag, basically. That's how I think. So that's
If
what I
you're
feel.
talking about admiring y'all and stealing from y'all, that's not a compliment. They just stealing from you. That's not a compliment saying that they admire your humanity. Because if they admire your humanity as a black man, they wouldn't steal your culture and misappropriate your culture and claim it to be theirs.
No, no, no,
That's disrespectful. That's dissing you in your face.
no, no, no. That's not okay. They know. Okay, it's like it's somebody else know your value more than you, which is the sad thing about our community.
Wait, I just have a question.
Yes,
How can the least employed be the most desirable?
the least employed.
Same.
Okay, I'm trying to see.
The most desirable, then you should be able to go to the work field and demand more pay. You should be
Y'all
able to
gotta let
say,
him. Y'all gotta let him have his 2 minutes.
Sorry.
For him to
No, 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 no.
do.
I like that question, but because they're not putting us in a fair in a fair game. Because I'll give you an example. I'm a traveling nurse, right? I've been in places where you have patients that will tell you I prefer, for example, a white nurse. That's not it's not because they prefer the white nurse, the that nurse is smarter than me. No, it's just that it's more politic than anything. I don't think it's anything else. The desire part is just politic, just to put us down. I really don't think, but again, some people fit to it. I don't. I'm one of those people who don't fit to it. Just let me give you an easy example. We have a lot of president in America, right? No president can outdo Barack Obama. How? Name a president that can outdo Barack Obama. Just name one. With the charisma, the way he present himself, the way he talk, the way he just do things. You can't. Black is magic, baby.
So,
Okay. All right.
what?
We'll keep going. Because okay. Let me go down here to Blessing, and then I'll go to Miss Florence. Go ahead. Blessing.
um,
Hey, how you doing?
good. Did you want me to answer the questions on the prompt?
Yeah, you can do that if you want to. Like, it's up to you, sis. I think we just kind of got a little bit thrown off because of what the guy was saying, because it really didn't have anything to do with the prompt. So you can definitely answer the ones.
Yeah, I think with the first question, why do black men think that they're the only ones that experience racism? Maybe because they are the most coddled in the community. And that's something that I just never understood, because your women are surpassing you and we have to deal with smexism, and we are BLK, so that's something I never understood. Um Yeah, so I I will be here listening. I don't know if you wanted me to answer any more
Oh, it's
questions.
up to you. Like, if you want to answer another question, you sure can. But if not, I'll go to Miss Florence. It's up to you, sis.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. All right. I'll go then. And you just speak whenever, Blessing. All right. Go ahead, Miss Florence.
Hello everyone, hi, how are ya?
Hey, how you doing?
Hope you all keeping well. This conversation is very much so interesting. Right, I'll start with the first one. So I do like, well, do BM, think that they are the only ones that experience racism. Yeah, as Blessing said, they were coddled the most within the quote unquote community, black community. One, two, because black women have gotten comfortable sacrificing their interests and their voice for the greater good of the collective, and the greater good of the collectiveness basically means black men. So yeah, black women have been comfortable, very comfortable. Have gotten comfortable sacrificing their bodies, their voice, their experiences, and for the better good of the collective of black men, so that they could be seen as quote unquote competent leaders, although they are completely conquered. So yeah, that's one. Two, why do black men say they are the most desired at the same time? Because they think that by having the only factor in this goddamn world, which is to be allowed to be in a relationship with a person, right? If you really think about it, because they can't control anything outside their body. So because they have a large quote unquote peen, um, they think that they are the most well, that's what the stereotypical expectation and stereotypical viewpoint that have been upheld, yeah, a large BBC, by corn, by the media, and this is what they're, I don't, they're so pathetic enough to actually uphold that narrative as well, which they don't see. They don't see how ironically belittling and disgusting it is to consider yourself nothing more than a smecks servant. But anyway, that's beside my point. Yeah, that's why they see that they think that they're desirable. It's because of their peen. That's it, really. Nothing more than that. Number 3, why do black men lack empathy toward black women? Because patriarchy have allowed them to feel and have the power over black women. Patriarchy have ultimately outlined that black women, given the fact that we're women, it states that men are the quote unquote head and women are the fucking neck or some gobshit like that. So this is why they lack empathy, because they know that they can abuse and oppress women, because the system allows them to. That's one. 2, because it's easier to abuse something that you don't respect, because quite frankly, collectively, black men have emphasized time and time again that they don't actually respect themselves. And yeah, they don't respect themselves in that way. So hence why it's easier to abuse someone that looks like you, and especially when it's someone that's given life to you in a world where you can't compete as a black man. Anyway, so 4. So why do they emphasize with their oppressor? Yeah, they empathize with their oppressor because they want to be enough. They want to have that power. They admire the whitey man for being able to conquer the world and being able to conquer them. And they know that because they're incompetent of upholding that amount of power. All they can do is be a bitch to them. So yeah, that's really it.
Okay.
That's my thing.
All right. Thank you, Miss Lawrence. All right, I'm gonna go up here to Brinks and then Mr. McDonald's. You can go ahead, Brinks. Yeah, go ahead, Brinks.
You want me to just go down the list?
Yeah, you can. It's up to you.
All right.
You can
I
go
feel
down the
like
list.
go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't hear you.
Oh no, I was just saying you can answer one, or you can go like if one you want to answer specifically, or you could go down the list. It's up to you.
Okay. Let's see. I feel like okay. So let's say number 3. Why do black men lack empathy towards black women? I feel like majority of us. I feel like that's just, most of the things on this list I don't agree with. I don't think that they're true at all. I feel like if you're gonna speak in a generalized sense, most black men adore black women, and we try to protect y'all as much as we can, but it's like you see the few and say that that's like the majority of us. So I don't agree with that at all. I feel like a lot of and then I heard somebody earlier say something about abuse. I definitely feel like women abuse men a lot. Verbal abuse, like I just feel like it's not even close to even the amount that's actually documented is not even close to the amount of women that document their abuse. So I feel like that right there, the abuse thing is definitely.
Okay, Brinks, let me ask you a question because when we
Hmm.
have conversations like this, there are a lot of times things can't be quantified, and
Hmm.
then there are times that things can be quantified. So you mentioned that black men protect black women and all these things like this. Black women make up less than or around 10% of the population, of the female population in the United States. Yet they make up 59 to 60% of all unalivings of women. And the percentage of black women when they are unalived, over 95% of the time, it is at the hands of a black man. Black women are 6 times more likely to be unalived by their race of man, and other races of women are likely to be unalived by theirs. Does that sound like protection to you? Does that sound like black women are in a position of not being harmed, or black men are loving on black women? Because I
No,
think
and
that when
I'm
we
not.
speak about it,
I didn't
I'm
mean.
not talking about every single black man, but when you mention the collective and the things that are going on with black women are not in a protected state at all. So I don't know how you can even say that looking at the stats of the things that happen to black women and black girls.
Yeah, yeah. So you're maybe I came across as saying as meaning that you guys that nothing happens to you guys. That's not what I'm saying at all. All I'm saying
But
is
you,
that
oh, and I'm sorry, I just want to say one more thing. And you mentioned that like black women abusing black men and black women doing things to black men and stuff like that. And when you make those things, there are never any statistics to back up the point that you guys are in extreme danger the way black women are in danger. Because if we bring up
well, I
any
didn't
of the
say
crime
extreme. I
stats
didn't
or
say we were in
the stats
extreme
or the
danger.
murder stats, when it comes to black women, we're not a threat to you. You're a threat to yourself, and you're a threat to us as well. So I don't understand why it's always a you always have to try to say, oh no, it's the black women too. It's not statistically in a quantifiable way.
Not statistically meaning that what that men don't report you guys for abuse.
Okay, when we look at what's going on in the world, when we look at domestic violence, when we look at the numbers of the people that are arrested or that cause grievous harm to someone at the extent of domestic violence, there isn't any notable percentage of women, specifically black women, doing that to black men. Because we're not going to talk about who reports and who doesn't report, because there are plenty of black women that equally don't report. So what we have to do is talk about what we can quantify, what we can say, hey, there are numbers here to prove this point. So what I'm saying is that the numbers are on my side in proving this point. They're not on your side.
I definitely can agree with you. But I feel like it's dangerous to say that it's not happening because it's not being reported. I feel
You
like
know
that's
what? It's
very, very dangerous
dangerous
to say.
to make it seem like it is a black woman issue when black women make up 60% of the women that are unalived in the United States, and only 10% of the population here. And 95% of the time, plus and up, is happening at the hands of a black man. For you to
I
just say,
de-
oh, let's talk about it and let's make it like black women are out here abusing black men and you guys are in the same situation of danger at the hands of black women is disingenuous and intellectually dishonest, to say the very least, because it's not true. And
it's not
that
dishonest because
also
I never
adds
said
to,
that we were
but
in
that
danger.
also
I
adds
never
to
once
black
said
women
that we
feeling
were in danger. All I
unprotected.
said was that the abuse is there.
But the
And you
abuse,
just
but if you look at, like I said, we can't go on how we feel. We have to go on what numbers are quantifiable. If we look at the numbers, what you're saying is not a real issue for men, and definitely not an issue for black men. And there is an issue for black women. So when you come up and it's like, let's say somebody is talking about something that's affecting a whole group of people, like we're talking about, let's say, the fires in LA or something like that, and someone comes up and says, oh well, you know what, there was like a fire in my bathroom too, so let's talk about that as well. You see, that comes off very insensitive, because what you're talking about in your bathroom is very little compared to a whole place being burnt up by wildfires. You get what I'm saying? So like,
no,
you
because
mixing
how are
it up
you to
is
tell somebody
insensitive.
that the abuse that they suffer is little, is littler than the one that you're suffering?
Because it's a fact. It's a fact, because when you as a man try to make it like that, when it's overwhelmingly leaning toward the male side, like it's the perfect example. It's like when women talk about rape and they talk about the things that happen to women. 99.1% of all forcible rape is committed by men. 99.1%. But anytime women talk about rape or essay, there will always be a man to come and say, well, let's talk about the women that do it. Let's talk
Well,
about
that's
the
not
women
what
that
I'm
do such and
arguing, so I
such.
don't want
When
to talk about what other people feel,
99.1% of
what other
those
people
things
were
are
talking
committed
about.
by men. You get what I'm saying? So you even bringing up women doing it in this particular instance just proves my point about the lack of empathy.
No, the
You see
lack
what
of
I'm saying?
empathy is coming from
You
you
have the
guys
lack
who is
of
literally
empathy
saying that
to
it
call
doesn't
something
matter
from
because
inside
it's
the
not
house.
reported as much as yours is. That's what you're saying, that the men,
Trigger. Can,
You don't
the
have a
abuse that the man is
quantifiable way of
getting
doing that.
does
Like I
not
just said,
matter as much
facts
as the
over
that
feelings,
you're getting,
sir.
because
You
it's not
have to talk
reported and the
about
numbers
something
aren't
that
there.
is actually documentable. We have to talk about something that you can look up. We have to talk about facts. We have to talk about numbers. We have to talk about data. We can't talk about the instances of where nobody's reported it. Because if nobody's reported it, we don't know. We don't know what
trigger.
happened. We can't
Which
talk
is
Can
why
about
I'm
that.
telling
And
you,
Trigger,
just
but
can
as
I
you
many,
don't want
and
to
say
I'm
listen
something
or
telling
want to
real
you,
hear
quick?
it because
just
it's
as
not
many,
reported.
and I'm telling you, just as many men that you would think don't report, there are even 50 times more women that don't report. Okay?
How do
So
you, but
once
you're
again, that
just
would make
saying
Trigger.
you.
that though.
Hold on,
That has no
I'm
wait.
not
facts. That
just
has
Trigger.
no
saying that. That's
nothing.
also a stat. If you look it up, it talks about plenty of domestic violence sites. They will cite information that there are a lot of women that do not report.
Okay, and there's
Actually,
also a
they
lot
say
of
white
men.
women,
Why are you
they
trying to
say
make it
white
seem
women
like
are
it's a
very,
one-sided thing?
they say white women don't report a lot of times because of shame in their community. It's like a cultural thing. They say a lot of white women don't
It's
report.
also
So you
shame in the
never
black
know the
community for
whole
a
host
man to
of it.
call the
And
cops
black
on a
women
woman.
don't
That's
report
not, look,
either.
that's
And
frowned
it
upon.
also talks about the fact that black women don't report because black women are afraid that if they call, he's going to be unalived by the cops. Something's going to happen to him and all of these other things. So what are you talking about? And that's exactly what I mean. Like he dropped because he was also part of it. And this is exactly what I'm saying. I'm so glad that he came up because this is a perfect example of the fact that I did not drop him. This is a perfect example of a black man who has no empathy, who has no care. He didn't care about what's happening to black women. All he wanted to do was come up here and say, hey, you know what? Who cares what happened to y'all? Because y'all do it too. But when you give them, like, say, hey, well, give me the numbers, give me the facts, give me the data, and they have nothing to say except how they feel. And that's just downright embarrassing. But I'm just gonna keep going and
I
let
was gonna
Mr.
say
McDonald.
something. Trigger, can I say something just real quick? I
Yeah,
was
I'll give
gonna
you like
say,
1 minute because I gotta
yeah,
get this shit out.
it's so funny that when he said that his first statement was majority of black men love black women. We try to protect y'all the best that y'all can't. We can, but however, like when you bring up the statistics saying that black women are most unalive by black men, he quickly dismissed that. A pregnant black woman is unalive mostly through homicide than being unalive in the hospital. So how is that proven that black men love us and want to protect us? When the stacks is saying that our perpetrators that unalive us and abuse us are black men. If the numbers that you just mentioned are high, and they also look at who's the perpetrator, is majority black men. So how can that statement be true that they love us and want to protect us?
I definitely agree with what you were saying, and I didn't even get it. And that was a very good point that you made about the stats when it comes to pregnant black women, because the biggest risk factor, like you said, is homicide for a pregnant black woman. Do you know how many stories that you can go look up and Google right at this moment of black women that were pregnant that have been unalived in the most gruesome and heinous ways by their baby fathers, by their husbands, by their boyfriends? Like, let's be serious here. But it's just like it's always a dismissal game. And I honestly, I will tell you guys here, I still have hope for the black community, but it fades daily, day by day, because when you give black men a chance to actually give any type of acknowledgement of things that they can't even deny, because they'll tell you logic, facts over feelings, don't be emotional, give me numbers, give me data. But when you give them those things, they still find some type of way to deflect. They find some type of way to not take accountability and say, hey, you know what? Yeah, black men, I guess we got some work to do. We got to figure out what's going on with the black men that are going off the hinges and unaliving black women and doing all those things. Let's figure out why. They never do. All they attempt to do is say, well, you do it too. Well, what about the 1% of you guys that do this? What about the one story where the black woman did this, even though there are 3 billion stories of us doing it? It's always like that, and it always comes out very dismissive and ignorant. And that's the reason why you can't get any type of come togetherness, because that makes people mad, because you know that you're being dismissive. But I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna let Mr. McDonald speak, and then I'll let all you guys speak again. Um, Oh, well, supervillain's coming up, so I'll let Mr. McDonald speak, and then supervillain, and then I'll let Nisi speak next. Go ahead, Mr. McDonald.
Peace, loves. I hope everybody's doing well today.
Hey, how you
Um,
doing?
I'm fine, thanks for asking. Before I do get started, I do want to say that I'm not perfect and I'm still learning, right? And I also want to, on behalf of all black men, I do sincerely want to apologize because We failed y'all, like, as a collective. I myself haven't been called out for that. My mom raised me a certain way, but I'm still responsible because I'm part of them, and as a collective, we failed our Black women and children. And I do want to apologize for that, because I don't think, for one, that's one thing that y'all will hear from most of them, because they don't really have control over their emotions. A lot of them, they weren't raised by strong, stable-minded men, so they didn't learn how to be a rock. That's what our women need. They need rocks. You can't be up here crying, bro. And I mean, that's no shade to the brother prior, but just realistically, we're supposed to give y'all that comfort. And they're mad saying, oh, well, the women, that they don't want us. Why would they? They got to do your job, right? If they got to do your job, what they need you for, and with all the abuse and stuff. And it's like, I'm sorry, let me stick to the prompt. But what I do just want to put that out there, that I do apologize, on behalf of all of us. Why do Black men think that they are the only ones that experience racism? I have personally witnessed racism for tons of our people in general, and anytime I'm around, I definitely, step up. I think a lot of guys, again, they want to play victim, and for us to actually fix the issues that's going on between Black men and Black women, Black men are going to have to stop trying to be the Black woman. They're going to have to be the Black man. It's time to step up and just say, look, it doesn't matter if I'm hurt. They need me to step up and stand on the front line, right? And make sure things are done, right? But they don't want to do that. They want to cry all day. And I think that's a really, really big issue, and I don't get me wrong, I don't hate Black men or anything, but I call them out for it all the time. And then, why do Black men say they are the most desired? I mean, to an extent, if we're saying like visually, and sexually, etc., well, people do desire, like the Black man, just like they desire the Black woman, but the economics, right, the mentality, it's not too many Black men, right? We have Black males who have become adults, right, but mentally, emotionally, they have not matured. So they're still like little boys, and because they have that emotional aspect and they don't have that, all right, I know how to deal with this, that's honestly why they be tripping. um then it says, why do Black men lack empathy? Because nobody taught them, right? That's just the reality. How could you not love Black women? You wouldn't exist without one, right? So I think that we got to stop making excuses about, just in general, about, oh, well, Black women did this or say that. Who cares? You wouldn't exist. You owe her everything. And I feel that if more guys could just come to that reality, we dropped the ball. It wasn't the women. The women picked it up. We dropped it. They picked it up and said, we got it. And y'all gave us grace, right? Before our generation, y'all said, look, we handling it, but we want y'all to step up to the plate. Y'all still do it. And these guys still letting y'all down. And then when y'all say something about it or don't want to be bothered anymore, because who wants to spend their life?
All right, Mr. McDonald. Okay, that's been over 2 minutes. I gotta go to Supervillain, and then Big Player, and then Nisi, and then Michaela, then Blessing, and then Karima. Or I don't know when Karima came up. I must have not been paying attention. I'm sorry, sis. Go ahead, Supervillain.
Hey, Triggered. Let me just do
Hey.
some housekeeping. Y'all tap the screen. Triggered always has an environment for intelligent conversation. Please show her appreciation. Y'all tap the screen. This is not an easy thing to do. It requires a lot of patience. Triggered, I admire you so much because, honey, I can't. You seem I'd have dropped and come up. I'm gonna just say this really quickly. First and foremost, I was gonna address the problem, but I remember because of the commentary that has had happened. I'm gonna just say this, and I'm only gonna represent the Black women who think like me. Your apology is not accepted. I don't require your protection. I just want y'all to leave Black women alone. right? I don't want anything from y'all. I don't want y'all to do anything other than just stop what you're doing currently and just leave black women alone. If you could just simply do that, that would go so far into doing a good thing for black women you wouldn't even understand. Triggered, I think number two, the question that you asked, is a great follow-up question to number one. For some reason, black men act as if they're the only one who face racism. Like black women weren't like literally right there next to them during, I don't know, chattel slavery, Jim Crow, segregation, like literally right there next to them. But for some reason, they don't remember that we also face racism, and not just racism, sexism on top of that. Um, but for some reason, they will on one hand say they're the most desired and most wanted, but y'all are target practice in the street. Most wanted by whom? Exactly what? And we got to stop this narrative of the huge pain thing. I've been a nurse for the last 10 years. It's a myth. It is a myth. It's not every black man. However, black men do have, the ones who have it, but it is absolutely positively not every black man. Just like every black woman doesn't have a huge behind. So let's stop perpetuating this lie. It's a myth. I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse for the last 10 years. I've seen a lot of people naked, and it is a myth. We got to stop perpetuating that. And honestly, black men, for that to be your, I don't know, title to glory, y'all should feel hurt because most men aren't satisfying women in the first place, period. So to have a big thing and not know what to do with it is crazy. I think I'm gonna yield there for now. Trigger, because it's a lot, and the stuff that I just heard, I don't know how you do this. Y'all tap the screen, please.
Girl, I'm gonna tell you something. I wasn't even gonna say nothing, you know what I'm saying? But I will say it because he's gone already. The guy that was up here, Mr. McDonald, and all that stuff that he was saying, I'm very and I'm very much an energy person. And I contrary to what people think, I don't dislike all black men. I do think that we have a problem with the collective of black men. I don't trust black men at all. Just like I don't trust white tea people. However, I do think there are some good black men out there. I've had some good black men come on the panel, and I could just tell by just the way they were speaking that they were probably, decent black men. But just because you come up and you say something that, you say, oh, I'm sorry, black woman, and you start saying a whole bunch of word salad and stuff in a way to like cater or pander to black women, that doesn't make my heart melt just because you say something. Because in my opinion, men as a whole, and this goes for all races of men are very action based. Like you cannot listen to what a man says. You can only listen to a man's actions. That will tell you everything that you need to know before his voice ever will, before him saying he love you, he'll die for you, this, that, and that third. His actions will show you everything. So that man that was up here, I felt like he was foolish. Okay, if y'all want me to keep it a bug, I didn't believe anything that he was saying. I felt it was very disingenuous. His whole energy was making me feel like it just cringeworthy. I don't believe he meant anything that he said. So, I mean, I'm not here to just bash this man after he left, because he didn't say or do anything wrong. I'm just saying what he was selling, I wasn't buying. So, and it's not like for people to say, oh, you just hate black men. Why you attack that black man? Y'all just all bash him because that's what somebody said on another live that I had uploaded to YouTube, that all the women, we were just attacking these black men. And I will say this, there are black men that have come up here and they have spoken, and black women, even black women that may have decentered men or separated from black men, they did not attack these men or say anything. I think sometimes people don't understand there's certain energies that people can become sensitive to feel like something ain't right. Something in the milk ain't clean. But anyway, that's all I'm saying. I just wanted to say that because I didn't want nobody to think that if for people that peep things like I do, I didn't want y'all to think that it went above my head because it did not.
Can I
But
clear
anyway,
something up real quick, Trigger?
yeah,
Could I clear something up real quick, Triggered, before the next
yeah.
question? And I just real quickly want to say I don't hate black men. It's actually all men for me. I don't believe in good men. I believe men can do good things, and I think that's what tricks a lot of women. But I didn't want black men to specifically feel targeted. When it comes to me, it's all men. I just wanted to put that
Okay.
out there. Thank you.
No, I got you. I know. Well, see, I guess this is for people that don't know you, but I definitely know your stance. Excuse me, supervillain. I definitely know your stance. Okay, so let me go here. I'm sorry because I know Nisi wants to speak too. Let me go here to Big Player, then Karima, and then we'll get to Nisi because I forgot about Karima. Poor Karima down there in the corner. Go ahead, Big Player.
What's up, y'all? How everybody doing? Everybody good?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Okay, so I'm good. I'm good. So it says BM lack empathy. Why do BM think they are the only ones experiencing racism? Why do BM say they are the most desired at the same time? Why do BM lack empathy towards BWs? And why do they emphasize with their oppressor? So here is the reason why they are doing these things, because they know that as long as they have money, fame, or good looks, black women will go right along with it. You know what I'm saying? Like this person that we had the example of, Lil Duval. This man has kids, black women. He has relations with black women. You know what I'm saying? And despite all the stuff that he said, I'm sure they see this stuff he's saying. But as long as he's got money or fame or good looks, black women will go right along with that. You know what I'm saying? It's the ones that are poor or not good looking. Those are the ones that catch the most flack when they got something to say about black women. But as long as you have a certain status, black women will sit there and support the BS and the nonsense right along with it. And that's why men do it, because they know how black women are.
Okay, that doesn't, number one, that doesn't make any sense to me because if we're talking about, do wait, before I ask that, do you think that black men are supposed to be the leaders and in charge?
Yeah, they
Okay.
are.
Okay. So, oh, you think that black men are the leaders and are in charge? Okay. So, if you think that black men are the leaders and in charge, why would your good behavior or bad behavior rest on whether black women would accept it or not? Wouldn't your leadership and you being a leader and trying to be the head, wouldn't that make you want to be a good person regardless of the fact of whether a woman would accept your mistreatment or not?
The
That's
only
not
thing that
good leadership material.
The only thing that makes a good man a good leader is the fact that he has a good leadership skill. So if these men don't
No,
have
that's
those
what you can't
leadership
say
skills,
that. You just said that black men were leaders regardless. You didn't say if they have
maybe
leadership
I didn't
skills.
understand the question because you was talking kind of fast. Maybe I didn't understand the question, but it sounds like you were saying that they're supposed to be the leaders.
Okay,
That's what it sounded like you said.
let me say this. That whole idea of black women accepting it and black men with money and men get away with it. The majority of black men don't have any money. The majority of black men don't have any fame. The majority of black men are making $40,000 or less a year and are in on the poverty line. So let's be for real here. That's not what's going on. And I wish that we would stop holding up the very small 0.001% of black men as to why the majority of black men are behaving a certain way. They're not behaving this way because they have money or they think that black women would take it. They're behaving this way because it's their character to do so. But I do think the one thing that you said is that black women have definitely allowed black men to play in their face. Black women have definitely coddled black men and made them feel as if they are worthy when they are not doing anything collectively to improve the black community or society. Black men have literally created nothing as a collective to support the black community. We literally have nothing for black men to be in charge or the leaders or they're supposed to be. So I do agree with you on that. Black women have got to stop. I think more black women are realizing. That's why I have these lives so that black women can realize that they need to decenter men, stop coddling men, stop letting black men do whatever they want to, stop telling black men that they're kings when they have $1.75 in the bank account and they have nothing to offer them. I think that is one thing that you said was correct. Black women have got to stop coddling and enabling black men. But everything else that you said, no, because it's not just the rich men; it's all black men that are behaving in these ignorant ways if they think they can do it.
But yeah, but what I'm saying is that these black men that are behaving this way, they grow up looking to the ones that are celebrities. They have some type of influence in their life, and that influence is the person with the money, with the fame, with the status. That's who these black men
Why
grow
aren't
up
black men
looking up
black
to.
men
So
wanting to
that's
be
how they.
influenced by? So I'm asking you this: why aren't black men wanting to be influenced by somebody like Russell Wilson? Why is he shamed in the black community and called a simp and called a punk simply because he is treating a black woman the way she needs to be
When's
treated?
the last time?
Huh?
First of all, Russell Wilson is not in. He's not on the post every day. He's not posting every day. He's not on TV every day. He's not. He's not making rap songs every day. He's not making TV shows every day. He is off the scene. Russell Wilson is
He's
off the
very
scene.
popular in the black community. Or
Who?
okay.
Russell Wilson is very quiet.
Okay.
Russell Wilson hardly ever says anything.
That he says a lot, but I'm you know what, big player, I'm gonna just keep going. We will revisit this later, sir. Let me go down here to Karima and then Nisi. Go ahead, Karima.
Okay, thank you for coming to me. One, why do black men think they are the only ones that experience racism? Because black men are inherently selfish. They are inherently selfish. Um, Number two, um, why do black men say they are most desired at the same time? Because they are arrogant. Black men are very arrogant. Number three, why do black men lack empathy? I'm gonna be honest with you. I, as a black woman, have never had to be taught empathy. I never had to be taught empathy. When I was a little girl, I had empathy. And I wonder, are some black men, do they really just lack empathy? I really wonder, do they really just lack empathy? Like, is it something that is not inherent within them? And that's a really sad thought to think. But I didn't have to be taught empathy. It was natural to me. And so why do black men have to be taught empathy, or why they don't have it? I think maybe they not equipped with it. I don't know. And then number four, why do they empathize with their oppressors? Because they want to be them. They want to be them. This is why they have the whole big issue. This is why a black man could come up here and be like, "Oh, we are supposed to be leaders." There's nothing in history that said that y'all have been leaders. Even there is just nothing about black men that has said that they are inherently leaders. As a matter of fact, I think when black men are in relationship with black women, they do better when they listen to the black women that they are with. And so if there's any black man up here, why don't y'all have empathy? Like, why is it something that y'all have to be taught? Why do y'all have to have a lesson in empathy? Why is that not natural for y'all like it's natural for us?
Because y'all support it as long as they got money.
That doesn't even answer my question.
Yeah, that didn't even answer the question. That doesn't make any sense. That's like actually dumb. But did you have anything else to say, Karima? I'm gonna go up here
I
to
just
Nisi.
I just want to say you are doing a good thing. You are so smart, and I'm happy that you are really actually brave enough and honest enough to have this live.
Thank you so much, Karima, and I appreciate you, sis, and I also appreciate you for waiting. I'm sorry I had you waiting so long.
You good.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna go up here to Nisi. Go ahead, sis. I'm so sorry. I know that you said a little while ago you had to speak. I'm so sorry, Nisi. Go ahead, sis.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. Basically, see, and I said earlier that the men in our community, all of them care about is access to cat, and I feel like Big Player pretty much proved that. Nothing in these prompts are indicating anything about relationships, yet somehow he's blaming the actions of black men on having access to black women. You see what he did there? But I wanted to mention when the last guy was up here, how it's so funny that he mentioned abuse, right? So I was on a different panel and there was a guy that came up because we were talking about how 98% of SA crimes were committed by men, and that 98% of the victims were telling the truth. Because he was saying that, what about false accusations? And, you know, it's about it's less than 5%. It's like around 2% of false allegations. Why did this man say that we should question the 98% because of the 2%? And he also said he's willing to let 3 rapists go free if he can save one innocent man, even though those 3 rapists would be out harming women. They want us to sacrifice ourselves for their comfort, for their image, for just superficial things. They expect black women to sacrifice ourselves for them so that they can look good, even though they're the ones doing the harm to the community. And then what happens? They turn around and blame us, just like Big Player just did.
Okay, yeah, I definitely agree with you, Nisi. Big Play in the comments said go to a future concert and see how many black women are in the front row. Well, you're there too, sir, because how would you know how many black women are there if you're not there yourself? So you doing the same thing.
But
You're
he's not.
you're
But
perpetuating the
Future's not
same thing and
interested
talking
in what
about
I'm
black.
doing.
So
He's not
what? You're
interested in
still
what I'm doing.
perpetuating, excuse me, you're still perpetuating the same BS, the same negativity, the same everything that we're talking about because your behind is there. So if
Yeah,
you
but the
supposed to
future
be
is
the
not
leader,
there for me. He don't.
so if you're supposed to be the leader, why you not setting the example? And that's the
How
thing,
do
and
you?
that
You
is
don't
like a
even know
big
me. How
problem.
do you know I'm
Is
not
that
saying
y'all
example? How?
Okay, so once again, I'm not gonna have a back and forth with you. I'm not gonna go back and forth with you. I'm gonna have a reasonable conversation with you. What you just said, I need you to understand the things that come out of your mouth. You said that go to a Future concert and black women are there on the front row. I said, how would you know that? You're there attending as well. You said that, oh, well, Future doesn't want me. It doesn't matter. It's the type of music Future makes. It's the type of environment, the type of thing, the example he sets for the community. Why aren't you being the leader that you just said out of your own mouth that black men are? Why aren't you setting the example by not going there? Or why aren't you setting the example, huh?
First
Like
of
you
all,
gotta
I
do
never
what
been
you
to a
gotta do.
Future concert.
Well,
First
then
of all,
you
Keep
don't
first
know
of all,
what
yelling,
it
you
sir.
is.
wrong.
Stop
Then
yelling.
you don't know if black women are there. Then so shut
It's
up.
called internet. It's
We
called
ain't got no
camera.
internet. You
It's
Stop
ain't
called
been there.
that.
yelling.
Shut up. Go ahead. I hate goofies like that. Like you gonna talk about something that you ain't even been there, and then want somebody to take you seriously. Shut up.
Do
Let
you
me.
know what a camera phone is?
Okay. Do you know what intelligence is? Clearly, you don't. All right. Go ahead, supervillain.
First of all, sir, can you stop yelling, like for real? Because it's just a conversation. Calm
You know
down.
he's emotional. Them
Nobody's gonna
dudes
stop you
be
from going to
emotional,
a
bro.
Future concert. You are safe, sir. I just
Them
hope you
dudes
That's
answer
be
number.
Listen, we all know the reason why he's jumping up and down, getting upset because he see men that have something that he doesn't have to have the access to the women. It sounds like to me he's more admiring how he's getting these women and not the character of the man. He don't care, like he already said. It's all just about getting money to these women, and he's not looking at the fact that he is that basically a man like Future is extremely toxic, and he's there for entertainment purposes, and the fact that like men equate like basically the community is bad because how much smex is basically be given out like of smex, and how does like less access, like more access to women is going to further the black community. It's not. It's like what everything that's on men's brains is sex consistently. Consistently, what's on their mind is sex. It sounds like when I hear men say that, the first thing that comes to my mind is that you're sexually frustrated, because there's no way, if you feel that you are a good man, you can attract a decent woman, you can attract a good woman, a healthy minded woman, and you wouldn't have any of those issues. But you're not. You only looking at how these men able to get women and I'm not able to get women. This is some BS. That's why men love to try to throw it in black women face. Oh, we the most desirable. Like basically, if y'all not giving us the cat and not kissing our asses, we'll get another group of women to do it for you. We get another group of women to do it. But we all know that's not the reality. And just like when you pointed out, Trigger, how if it's all about money, black women is going to just fall in line and just basically go along with the black man. Yeah, and you pointed out that, yeah, that was true. A lot of black women did promote a lot of BS, but it's based off saying black men are saying this is what masculinity looks like. This is what being a man looks like. And women that are sexually attracted to men will look at that they want a protector and a provider. But if y'all are giving bad examples of being a provider and a protector by being gangsters, candy dealers, being pimps, going to prison, that is the performance of masculinity. What makes you think a woman is going to go the opposite when you're setting the standards if this is what manhood looks like? You can't have it both ways. Y'all can't have it both ways. Now, one time he has mentioned a healthy minded black man. We're talking about healthy minded women are looking at the behaviors of black men saying that you motherfuckers are not healthy minded and you're damn near on the spectrum of being almost clinically insane. You're
Yeah,
very unhealthy minded.
and
And they never look for a healthy minded woman.
And I think it's very weird. And I think you made a great point when you mentioned what black women, a lot of black women that haven't had the time to unpack what masculinity is or what they think it is that over the past several decades, at least 30 years plus, black men have spent their time indoctrinating not only black men, but black women with the idea that masculinity was wrapped up in criminality, wrapped up in, just like you said, candy selling, wrapped up in slapping a 304. If she gets out of line, you spent the last 30 years calling black women B's and 304s and Luts and telling them the only thing that they're good for is what's in between their legs with your music, with the movies that were majorly when there was a production of black people. Black men were behind the scenes. John Singleton, NWA, Ice Cube, Easy E, Dr. Dre, Luke, all of these people spent the time brainwashing black women to feel like if a man is coming right, he's intelligent, he's going to school, that he's weak, he's a punk, he's a simp. Y'all spend all of that time glorifying criminality and then are shocked that some women are attracted to that very, very exact criminality and dysfunction. It doesn't make any sense. And black men are the ones that push forth those negative stereotypes, and they still do to this day. And my thing is they'll often say, well, the white T man was going to pay me. I don't care if the white T man was going to pay you or not. You didn't have to take the money to ruin and destroy your community and the image of your black woman, of the black woman or the black man, frankly. And that's another reason why it's so crazy to me is that y'all will sit there and be upset at Sexy Reds and Suki Hanas for acting like what you perceive to be Lutz and 304s and loose and all of that, when y'all spent the last previous several decades telling women that that's all they was good for. Snoop Dogg talking about, we don't love them hoes, you know what I'm saying? That women ain't nothing but hoes and tricks and all of this other stuff. So it's just like, which one is it? Is that what y'all want us to think? But if we take ownership of that, then there's a problem. So please stop acting like, and besides, Future wasn't even a conversation, because why would we have a discussion about rich black men when a rich black man is like a leprechaun? That's not normal in the black community at all. So we might as well talk about the majority, which is the majority are just poor, broke black men that are uneducated, that black women may coddle or whatever. You'd have been better off having a discussion about black male worship and black women that coddle black men before you said all the other dumb stuff that you said. But I'm gonna keep
Great.
going
I was
to
gonna say just
Michaela.
I was gonna
Oh,
say real quick also, like, half of my point is that he keep mentioning how women are listen to these artists, but black men listen to them more. Who glorifies selling candy in the community, pimping women, being a player, and going to prison? I did 15 years and da. Who made up all that music? Black men.
rapping,
Who made
no
up that music?
snitching,
Black
no
men made up that
snitching, all of
music,
that
and
stuff.
black men are the biggest groupies for other rich men. Let's keep it a buck. No one loves men with money more than men, because y'all admire those men. Y'all want to be those men. All you gotta say is, all you gotta come up here and just simply say, ladies, I know why y'all love a strong black man. I love a strong black man too with money. That would have made it very simple, big player. You like men with money. We like men with money too. It's that simple.
Okay, all right, T. I definitely agree with you. I'm gonna go down here to Michaela, and then I'll go to Dark Truth, and then I'll go to Blessing. Oh well, no, sorry, because Blessing came back. So I'll go to Michaela, then Blessing, then Dark Truth. Just so y'all know, for people that may not know, Dark Truth is my husband, so he'll be speaking. All right, go ahead, Michaela. Sorry you took so long.
No, it's okay. You guys can hear me, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Alrighty. So Big Player mentioned before when he was rambling, saying that little BLK boys have rappers and stuff to look up to, right? And to that, I understand where he's coming from, but he did mention this, and what it was is that at some points kids become adults, and when you become an adult and as well as a functioning human being, you have to take the first step in the initiative to understand who you are and then also understand who you want to become, right? I'll be 20 years old in 2 days. Of course, I have Krishan and all these women and all whatever pushed market towards me, but guess what I chose? I made a decision, myself, to not fall into that, to not be like that, to be myself and who I want to be. BLK men should do the same. They are capable. The thing is, a lot of them don't want to put in the work to work on themselves, and they treat other people poorly because they don't even have themselves together. But all I'm saying is, if I can do it at my young age, these grown men, BLK men, can do the same too. You don't have to be like Future or whatever. It's not lame to be an Urkel or whatever we got going on. It doesn't matter. Stop looking up to other people. Be yourself. Like, to me, I'd say, hey, they want to say everything's, gay or whatever, but you trying to be like another man? All right.
All right. Okay. All right, Michaela. So this is what we'll do. I'll go to Blessing, then Dark Truth. Then we're gonna let Big Playa respond to everybody because he keeps saying that black women hate to hear the truth and they're afraid. And I don't understand why he's saying this. But we'll let him speak and then Karima. So go ahead, Blessing. I'll give you 2 minutes. That way we can hurry up and get to Big Playa because that way he can realize that nobody's afraid. Go ahead, Blessing.
So another thing that I want to say is that just because a man is not pimping women or he's not dealing, selling smugs, that doesn't necessarily mean that he's a good man. Just because I know there's a lot of men, they will say that they're nice, like they will say that they are nice men, but they're not really nice. Just because they don't do none of those bad things, but that's one thing I wanted to say. And he talked about black women that are into these men with money. And I'm happy that you addressed him and you let him know that most black men don't have money. And if anything, black women are the ones that are looking for a man with potential. We're the only group of women that do this, where we'll look at a man for his potential and build him up. And then when he's up, he'll leave you for a white T girl. Sorry, I'm using the TikTok friendly words, but just like Kanye West say, when he get on, leave your ass for a white girl. So I just don't understand. I don't understand what he meant when he was saying that. Like you said, those successful black men he's talking about is a very small percentage, and we're not even talking about the ones that date out. So yeah. And another thing that I wanted to speak on is that earlier when you had that black man that you were talking about kind of pandering to us, is that one thing that I noticed is that black men, they know how black women usually get treated in the community, and they like to pander to us. And I think that's actually pretty sad, is that we're not used to seeing a black man even understand or not we're not used to a black man being understanding to us or really be nice to us. So when a black man is saying something nice to us, it's like, we chew it up, we eat it up, when he is just pandering. A lot of them make a lot of money pandering to black women, I noticed. But I'm done.
Yeah, I definitely think that a lot of people make money pandering to black women. And that's a whole nother topic entirely, but that's exactly why I don't listen to any black men that I've already said this a million times on my platform. Any black men that come out and they start saying things that black women want to hear, I never listen to them, because just like with the dude from tonight's conversation, Ace Metaphor, who's been exposed for probably treating the black woman and stuff that's on his panel bogus and all of that, and the kitty lady, which I already told some people that I thought she was problematic years ago when I first came on TikTok. It's just sometimes people just don't understand it. They just want to hear what they want to hear. And not to mention that man previously made red pill content, but some people just want to be. Anyway, that's probably a whole nother topic. Let me not even talk about that right now. Let me go to actually Big Player instead of Dark Truth, because my husband, he said that he was waiting for Big Player to speak. So go ahead, Big Player. You said that people are afraid for you to respond. Please go ahead.
Yeah,
Try to
so
post
basically,
about it.
when you tell the truth, and it's not something that a lot of black women want to hear, if it ain't what they want to hear, they'll clash at you. They'll try to manipulate you. They'll try to gaslight you. They'll try to make you feel like you saying something wrong, even though you ain't saying nothing but the truth. And they can't provide no facts that say that what you're saying is wrong. Just like the lady Blessing said that black women is the only women that'll build a man up. That's completely false. I have seen all races build black their men up. I've seen a Latina woman sitting on the curb with her man because they didn't have a car, or I don't know what else they didn't have. I seen them sit on the curb and just
Big
have fun
player, big player.
for 30 minutes.
Can we please stay on the topic? What exactly is it that you're saying that black women don't acknowledge as truth? Because I told you that I agree with what you said about black women encouraging the bad behavior of black men and their degeneracy. by accepting them and coddling them and not telling them the things that they're doing wrong. So exactly what are you talking about? Because this is about black men lacking empathy. This is about the poor behavior of the black community of black men, how they have ruined and destroyed the black community. These things are very fact-based, but I yet to see you address any of that truth.
First
All
of all,
I saw you was to go directly to discussing black women who weren't even the topic of discussion. So it sounds like you doing what you said that black women are supposed to be doing.
first of all, every time I say something and get to talking, y'all gonna cut me off because y'all don't want to hear the truth. You won't let me
What
talk.
truth? Go
Everything
ahead.
I
You
say is
got
true.
2 minutes. You
Homie,
got
Everything
you
two
I
ain't
say is
minutes.
you ain't
true.
been speaking
You
the
got
truth
two
since you
minutes.
got
You
on
got
here.
2 minutes. You
Y'all
got
just
two
You ain't
mad
minutes.
because
said
I'm
nothing true since you got on here, homie.
you
You
just
ain't
mad
said
because I
nothing
told your
true
wife
since
the
you got
truth.
on here, homie. Like,
So you
I
you
don't know
mad because
why
I
you
told
get
your
on
wife
here
what
and
you
your
scared to
whole
tell her the
goal
truth.
is to try to attack women and make it seem like they the ones who causing all these black men to do stuff.
You scared
Like,
of your wife. That's why you
like
won't tell her the
that's
truth.
just
You scared
crazy.
of her.
This ain't got nothing to do with being scared of nobody,
It,
bro.
it do. It got something to
Like
do with
you
being
you you
scared.
probably ain't even got a wife or a woman. So what are you talking about? You probably ain't got jack squat, but you on here talking. You trying to get where I'm at. Like that's what you trying to do.
So
But
you
you over here trying to blame women for this stupid stuff and trying to make it seem like they the reason why black men acting like this is really told you about it's dumb, bro. Like you
first of
gotta
all,
stop it. You really got to stop it, bro. You can't get up here and you
that's
can't
why
sit
they
up here
keep
and try
cutting
to
me off because they
blame.
scared to hear the
You
truth.
can't sit up here and try to
No, I
blame
keep
women
cutting you off because you're
for the
not about
stuff
to interrupt
that
my
black
husband.
men do.
What the
It,
you
it
thought?
don't it don't even and then your whole thing about them being in future concerts and all of that stuff that ain't got nothing to do with nothing, bro. The majority, like they already told you, the majority of black men ain't even rich. So what's the excuse for all the black men that ain't rich that's doing all of this stuff?
First of all, if you were listening, you would hear what I said when I said that.
No,
I
somebody
was
listen nothing.
listening. I
First of all,
heard
you
what you
gonna
said.
apologize.
What you
You're gonna
said was
apologize for
dumb.
disrespecting my husband. Like for real. Like that's what you first gonna do before you say anything.
Your wife wear the
What?
pants in your house. I can.
Nah, bro, it
No,
ain't got nothing.
okay.
That's
All
what I'm
right.
saying. Is that what y'all always want to run to? That's what y'all want to run to? Like you ain't got a wife, you ain't got a girl, you ain't got nothing. So what are you talking about? You over here trying to blame women for what? For
How
doing
you know
what?
I ain't got a wife?
For the stuff. Because
How,
I know you ain't got a wife, bro. Because listen to how you sound. I know you ain't got a wife. The simple fact that you always get up here and say, "How you know I ain't got this?" and just saying instead of saying I do have it, already lets us know you ain't got none of this stuff.
first of all, I don't put my business on.
First
You
of
ain't
all,
got
you
to put
put your
nothing
business.
on nothing, bro. like it's clearly obvious who you are and what you got and what you don't have.
Oh, I'm sorry, babe. I know you had it, but it was just like he just was blowing my mind. You know, I don't really like it when people get smart with you or nothing like that. But I know you got to do what you got to do. But it was just like when he was just saying that stuff. It was just like, bro, you sound like you have a fourth grade education, sir. I know a dusty ash ball when I see one. I know a man that got a pallet on his grandma's basement floor. And when I hear one, I know it. And I also know a voice of a man that has been a bed bunk for a Big Bubba in prison for at least a couple years. I know you got a felony or a couple misdemeanors. And I can tell. I can just tell by the way you talking. Because what man
Man, he a
calls
lonely
himself
dude that's
big
sitting in his
player?
basement right now.
Big player 66 in 2025. Like big player 66? That's a man that's been locked down for at least 10 years. So he off
That's
the generational.
that's a
So
man
he
that's
don't know.
clearly
He's back.
influenced by the
He's back
same
in the
rap stuff he talking about everybody else he influenced by.
Exactly, he is. That's why I said
He
he
clearly
admiring the
influenced by the
same
same stuff he
men.
talking about everybody else influenced by.
That's why I said he admiring the same men that the women are admiring. He wants to either be those men or be with those men. One of the two.
Oh my goodness. I just wanted to say real quick, y'all, for the comments, because I saw somebody say don't say the R word. I totally understand. You
Yeah, that's
know,
my
it was
fault.
just
I don't get on here a lot.
yeah, it was my husband. He said he'll be on here a lot. So pardon the R word, you know.
Let him drop and
Yeah.
come back, Dark. Drop and come back just to protect the live.
All right.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm sorry. It was just like he was just saying, like, you go at my husband, then we got a real problem. But big player, 66, like I said, I already know, like, you know how like when you get locked up and you've been locked up for 10 years and you out of the generation, so you missed a whole section. So you come out back in the generation that you was in when you was locked out. That's exactly why he's calling himself big player, because that's just like calling yourself Big Willie. Like y'all remember back in the early 2000s, like Will Smith was calling himself Big Willie or something like that. Just embarrassing. Like honestly, like I just don't understand.
90s. Trigger, that's the
Like yeah, yeah.
90s. What are you talking about, girl?
Like, I'm just
66, that might be his age. He might be 66.
I'm just saying, like, I really don't understand, like, what, like, mental you have to be going on to, like, you just start your TikTok and, it gives you the little line for you to put the title of what you're going to call yourself. And you just be like, yeah, you know what? Big player. 66. Yeah. Yeah, that sound good. That sound good. Big player. Like, there's some mental instability right there just in that choice alone. Like, it's something's like seriously, wrong. Something ain't right upstairs. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm just saying, but big player, you gonna have to comment sorry 10 times in the comments on separate lines before you ever get a chance to speak. Again,
You
you
ain't even
gonna
got to
say
do that, bro.
sorry to my husband.
He ain't got to do all of that. Nobody care about what he got to say. I mean,
Okay.
all of them, all they ever want to say is, you women wear the pants in the family, huh? I mean, like it's the dumbest stuff ever, bro. Because it's like all of them sit up here and they cry about what they want women to do so they can have a woman. That's all they sit on the internet doing. All they sit on the internet doing is crying about, it's the women's like. I never seen dudes who claim they supposed to be the leaders always trying to blame the people who they supposed to be leading. Like that don't even make sense. Like leaders don't do that. But that's all they ever do on this internet. They sit around and they just blame women all day for every problem that they have and never look at themselves and realize that they the problem and they been the problem.
His handwriting? If this is your handwriting, this explains a lot.
Okay, let me see. Who was I supposed to go down to? I think was Karima. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Karima.
Okay, just real quick. So I'm thinking about it while we were talking, and black men not only lack empathy, but they lack accountability. They totally lack accountability in anybody. And I feel like even the young 20-year-old girl that came on here, I think anybody who was trying to grow in any way, you have to go through some type of tough thing, whether it's your trauma, whether it's your lack of your the fact that you've been BS your whole life. You got to go through it. But anyone who has got to the other side knows that that's tough. I feel like a lot of black men, they start getting fearful, they start getting resentful, and they turn back. And so they never get to the other side because it actually is a strong and it's a formidable thing to get through something. And most of them don't got it to get through it. They don't got it to get through their trauma. They don't got it to take accountability. And so instead of ever getting to the other side, they just turn back and they regress every time. They just regress. So we have a lot of men who are literally still in teenager status, still want to call themselves a player. Because how could you even call yourself a player, meaning that you disrespect multiple women? You disrespect multiple women, and then come on here talking about respect, or come up here talking about being a leader. That don't even make no sense.
I mean, I definitely agree with you. I just want y'all to know that he dropped. I did not drop him. He left on his own. He left on his own. I was actually gonna just let him speak since my husband said that he just didn't care what he said. I was gonna let him do it. I did not drop this man. He left on his own. I just want y'all to know that he left on his own. But you guys, I got to get up out of here. I'm sorry, we're in a good conversation. I'm gonna let everybody speak one more time before I get out of here. But I'm gonna let everybody speak. But yeah, he was tripping. I just, like I said, ridiculous, ridiculous. Yeah, that's all I can say. That's all I can say. Go ahead, T.
Okay. Thank you for having me. You say you about to bounce, right? Is that what
Yeah,
you
yeah, 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 yeah. Cause I
Okay,
gotta
thank
go do
you for
something.
having me as usual. And like, listen. Every time, like I said, every time I hear men come up and say the reason why, because y'all giving it to the men, y'all giving it to the men, and this is why we like to tell women to please be selective of who you sleep with, because they looking at sleeping with you as basically part of the so-called reward system. Rewarding men bad behavior is giving them the cat. And this is why we are deconstructing and reprogramming women to be more selective, to be healthy minded when or if they are selecting a mate. That's the point. And when we come on these platforms and you hear men saying all of this stuff, because, like, don't take offense, they just sexually frustrated because they are looking at everything that they're supposed to be doing is for to get cat and to get validation from other men, and they're using you as a stepping tool to do it. That's why when they love to mention about having, they giving it up, they having sex with the men, they having sex, they try to throw it in our face. But however, nowadays it's different because you see the birth rate going down. We're saying it's going to be is a lonely male epidemic. It's more it's going to and it's going to grow because of that. And then they're gonna turn around and blame us for something else. Y'all, the reason why the population of black people are down because you're not having no babies because they're not being good select because you're not good choices. Y'all not it's no good. It's very few selective men to choose from. So with that being said, thank you for having me. Yes, ladies, choose wisely or don't choose at all. Single is definitely a good option because you won't hear nonsense like that. That man came up here with his sexual frustrations. He came up here to vent to us about how the women that he don't want him. That's all it is about.
All right, T. All right, so I'll go down here to Miss Florence, then Michaela, then Blessing, and then Kareem. I'll give you 60 seconds, Miss Florence. Go ahead, Miss Florence.
Sorry, are we repeating the same thing that just happened? Or
No, you don't have to. Because I'm about to end a live anyway. So I did thought you might, if you want to respond to the guy that was up here or something like that, you can.
nah,
But
nah, not
not.
gonna waste my time. I'm
I
alright.
got, I got you on that. I totally feel you. All right, let me go up here to then Michaela, then Blessing, and then Karima. Go ahead, Michaela. If you
Honestly,
have
to wrap
something.
it up. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
Yeah, to wrap it up, I agree with everything T said. I'm going to add to, realize when someone shows you who they are the first time, please believe them. Don't have the whole put your cape, take the cape off, drop it, throw it in the trash, shred it. That's all I got to say.
All right. I got you, Michaela. All right, I'll go down here to Blessing.
Yes, thank you for having me. But one thing I have noticed with black men, is that typically they are on code with each other. So that's one thing I've noticed with them, good or bad, they will protect each other for the most part. And I just wish most black women were on the same page where we were protecting each other too, and we were on the same page.
I think that you made a great point with that, Blessing. I do wish that more black women would get on code and do that. And there are some black women that do, but then there are a lot of pick me's and women that will throw you under the bus for a man just to say hey or give him a pat on the head or get him like a doggone saltine cracker, and that is very very true. So you're right. I don't have nothing to say about that. You're right. Karima, go ahead, sis.
I really don't got much to say. Good life. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this one thing. I used to pray for black men. I don't even do that no more. I do not even do that no more. I feel like it was a wasted prayer, and I hate to say that, but I don't know. I guess good luck to them. Good luck.
All right, you guys. I appreciate all the ladies that came up here on the panel today. We had a pretty good conversation. I know, oh dude, big player, what I'm saying, he tried to, derail it because, he's just trying to get acclimated to being in society from exiting his halfway house. And they put him back into society because he hasn't been out since, Will Smith did that song Men in Black, for the very first Men in Black. You remember the one where he was sliding to the never mind, let me stop being petty. I'm sorry, I cracked myself up because I'm telling you, like, I could just really get like a whole picture of that man like being locked up because that's the reason why his name is Big Player. Like, I don't know if any of you guys ever saw the movie like I'ma Get You Sucker. Do y'all remember when the black dude had got out of jail and he came back out and he was dressed like the pimp? and he had like the shoes with the water in them, and it had like the fish in them. And then because he had been locked up so long, he came out and he thought that like that's how he was supposed to be looking, but the generation had passed. And so like he was like everybody on the block was laughing at him and he started running and stuff. And then like his shoe had cracked, like the aquarium shoe and everything. Like I swear, like you just don't even understand. Like the scene that I'm telling y'all is so hilarious. If y'all have never seen I'm gonna get you Sunday, y'all don't remember that. Like y'all should go watch that today. Like seriously. But anyway, I don't know. He was just giving me vibes like that. And I just think it's very weird when black men want to come and like, oh, thanks, Coach T. And sorry about that. Though the man that came up here, you know, just weird. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have no idea why the men want to come up and vent and take their frustrations out on black women that they don't know, and then think that those black women who don't know them and haven't did anything to them are just gonna hold an open space for them just to say whatever they want. Like they want to give all black women are bad, black women are this, like, and then you think that I really want to hear that? Like, because if somebody says anything to you about the state of black men, you not trying to hear that though. You start blaming single mothers for it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I don't know. I just think it's like so weird. But anyway, like I said, I appreciate all you guys for coming. I appreciate all the beautiful black women that came up and gave their perspectives on this. I really do appreciate you, Super Villain, T, Blessing, Michaela, Karima, Nisi, Dark Truth, and I think that's everybody. I might have missed somebody though. But hopefully I didn't. I appreciate all the ladies in the chat. I see all of you guys support and stuff like that. I appreciate y'all so much. If you're a black woman and you're listening to this, I hope you have a great weekend. Hope you have a fantastic day. I hope it's productive. I'm sending you nothing but love, light, and healing. And if nobody has told you today, you are a black woman and you are awesome, amazing, special, and valuable. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Do not let these internet weirdos who are at home ejaculating into a sock tell you anything, which is why when my husband told him like, hey, you know, you ain't got no woman. He's like, how do you know I ain't got no woman? Because clearly you sound like you ain't got no woman, sir. You sound like you be, you know what I'm saying, looking for somebody to take your little $40 to give you some time this weekend. Or you look like, you know what I'm saying, you got one of them like big butts that you get from the sex store that you just, you know, put your, you put your man meat in and you just pump away to oblivion. That's exactly what the vibes he was given, that, you know, he cannot ejaculate when he wants to because he has a woman that's willing to do that. He's got to be all alone by himself using his hand. You know what I'm saying? In the tissue. And that's just really embarrassing, you know? And I wish that more men would understand that you acting like that is only going to get you to continually be in that state of sexual frustration. Your mistreatment of women is never going to get women more enamored with you. You're not. And then half the time, these guys have no profile picture. So, you know, they got a nasty attitude, a nasty spirit, a nasty body, a nasty face, all of it. It's like you got to pick a struggle. You can't be ugly, broke, and disrespectful to women. Like, what are we doing here? But anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm ranting. I'll see y'all later. Have a great, great, great weekend. I love you, black woman. You're beautiful. And I'm sending you my love. And this will always be a safe space for black women. Always safe space for black women only and for nobody else. And it's us above everybody, y'all. Love y'all so much. All right. Bye-bye.